Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Choose Yourself Over Everyone Else. And I don't mean that in a narcissistic way, or if you have children, like I'm telling you, obviously your children probably, especially when they're young, really have to come first. And I think everyone knows I'm not implying that by this title. What I'm really talking about, choose yourself first over everyone else. I was inspired because I was watching a show on Netflix called Love is Blind, and season 2. And there's a character it was a reality show. So there was a person on there, and she, like, really beautiful person on the inside and the out. And she got matched up with this guy who was very superficial, and over a period, they were going to be married. Over a period of time, he was saying really horrible things about her looks and being very disparaging towards her, while kind of at the same time acting like he might marry her. And they got to the altar together, and it was decision day, and when the priest or the pastor asked, do you take this man? And she's like, no, I don't. I choose myself. And I just thought that was really great. Okay. So talking about, and it was funny, not funny, but it was interesting because she went outside and she looked happy, and she looked like resolute and resilient. And her mother went out there and was like, I'm so proud of you. You chose yourself. And it was just and now this young woman is all over the news, and she's doing interviews, and in a good way, I think, in a good way. And she is going to find someone way better because she chose herself in that situation, instead of sticking around with that horrible person that wasn't, that would never love her the way that she wanted to be loved, and was unwilling to even try, and so she chose herself over that person. And I just thought that was a really beautiful statement. Also, for those of you who have struggled with childhood trauma, or CPTSD or PTSD from traumatic events in your life, or you grew up with parents that were addicts, or parents that were very abusive, and you've heard the term codependency before. A psychologist that I know defines codependency. This wraps into the topic, okay? The best definition of codependency I've ever heard is the neurotic drive to serve based on the terror of negative emotions in yourself or others, okay? And we live in a very codependent society. We also live in a society where people are very selfish too. And there's a lot of, hunt or be hunted type of attitudes in our society, which frankly is, pretty disgusting most of the time. And for those of us that have been on the other end of things, where we have been overly, serving others, and where we have denied ourselves what we need, and we've put all of our life energy into empathizing with others, and to a lot of times empathizing with abusers, making excuses for them, or we've allowed people to treat us less than we deserve, and I know it's a lot more complicated in relationships, because there can be, trauma bonds and other things going on. But at the end of the day, I feel like, and a lot of times people might be being lied to, and then you find out 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 3 months down the road, like, this person is cheating, this person is this or that, right? Which at the end of the day, and I'm not saying everyone that has a partner that cheats should leave their partner. I mean, obviously, who am I to you, your dear viewer? You are just watching this. You can make your own life decisions. But what I am saying is, even with myself, I've noticed over time, the more I've chosen myself over everyone else in my life, the better it's been for me. And that's because I grew up as a very parentified child, having, taking care of my siblings, and, having to grow up really fast. And suffering because of guilt, because I wish I would have been better for them or done more for them, all the while, you know, my parents were nowhere around to be found. And it's just, you know, children that grow up in situations like that grow up serving others and putting their own needs aside in order to serve others, right? And I don't think serving is necessarily a bad thing. Serving can be a very beautiful thing. I'm serving you guys all by doing a reading for you here today. But this is also an energetic exchange. I get a lot out of it. I also get paid for the work that I do, and I feel my work is very appreciated. That's different than just, you know, giving away all your life energy to some, you know, psychic vampire of a situation that if you let it continue on 10, 20, 30 years down the road, it is going to really diminish your happiness, okay? And so that is that was probably way too much of an explanation. I'm sure you guys are like, we know. But the whole thing is choose yourself over everyone else, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and get into the piles. So we have pile number 1, which is the Bloodstone period. Oh my God. We have pile number 1, which is the Bloodstone pyramid. Maybe some people are on their periods right now. Pile number 2 is the Blue Tiger's Eye. This stone is called the Blue Tiger's Eye. For pile number 3, we have the Rainbow Moonstone. Okay, so whatever it is that you're drawn to, Bloodstone pyramid, Blue Tiger's Eye, or Rainbow Moonstone. And I'll have the timestamps in the description box below. It seems like these days, whenever you're talking about like a spiritual topic or something like that, you have to give like 1,000 disclaimers to it and give allowances for every single situation and explain what you're doing and all this kind of thing, which is fine. I mean, then you can clearly see where the people that you're watching or listening to, you can clearly see where they stand on issues, okay? So it's not like the worst thing in the world. But let's go ahead and get into it for my beautiful pile number 1. Let's do it. All right. Pile number, okay, let's see. Sorry about that. I was like, should I? Okay, let's start over. Pile number 1, what an interesting thing, okay? We'll start over. All right, let's do it. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Bloodstone Pyramid, and today's reading is called Choose Yourself Over Everyone Else, okay? And I had I called you guys the Bloodstone period pile. I started your reading and then I stopped it. And then I, almost called you the Brownstone period pile. Pile number 1, what is going on in the universe, right? And we're gonna find out about this energy. Maybe sometimes going back and forth on things and not sure, like, should I do this or should I do that? Or wanting to make things perfect for other people. And so you think about just, trashing the thing all together and then having to redo your work. Pile number 1, does this ever happen to you? Let's channel the energy. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of my pile number 1s who come here today seeking your beautiful guidance. Thank you for being here with me today. And thank you for allowing me to be the medium in the channel between you and pile number 1. Thank you so much. All right, pile number 1. Wow. Be proud. 6 of Wands, right? Be proud of yourself. You don't need anybody else to tell you that you're worthwhile or wait for somebody else to acknowledge you. All right? You're worthy all on your own, pile number 1, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. We have the Orca Whale Adventure. Dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song. Yeah, as I was starting your guys' pile, I got this whole thing of wanting to do things like other people and wanting to, because maybe it feels safer, you know what I mean? Or maybe it feels like, if we do that, we'll be safe from ridicule, or we think that somebody else's way is better than our way. You know what I mean? The orca whale is very wisdom-based, though. And the orca whale has a lot of experience and can travel great distances, okay? Dare to do things differently, sing your wild song, manifest your travel dreams. Wow, some of you guys needing to do things way different, okay? Attempt the great journey with confidence, be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. Yeah, friends and family have been your guys' treasure. And, you know, and you can see all of them together here. You can see the family, you can see the friends, and here's you. Even though you maybe treasured them at times and you kind of like followed the pack, pile number one, I feel like you guys are kind of at the point now where you're jumping ship, okay? And maybe you idealized your family and friends at times, thinking that, you know, it was safer to kind of follow the leader, follow the path, and that you shouldn't and that you shouldn't divert. You know what I mean? And to divert would be to go into the wild seas, into the wild unknown. And, you know, but I feel like what's happened is that when you've been around these people that are exactly the same, and maybe out of respect for friends and family, you haven't wanted to break away from them. But I do feel like this orca whale is diving away from these friends and family, certain ones, and diving towards the sun, which is our individuality and our spirit and our essence and our vitality, okay? And it's like, I'm gonna have the guts and courage to go over here because that's where I feel my heart is leading me. And no shade to you. You know what I mean? No shade, because I'm sure some of you have friends and family in your life that you actually like. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone hates all their friends and all their family, right? But like, there is something about you, though, that needs to do things differently or break away from the crowd. And that may mean traveling or moving or leaving or going somewhere else to follow your bliss, okay? And instead of just staying with everyone else, okay? We have here the 8 of Swords and we have the Ace of Swords, okay? And we have Justice. And wouldn't you know, wedding rings just popped out too. And justice, of course, could be marriage or a marriage contract or a wedding, but it doesn't have to be an actual marriage. It could be, you know, like being married to our wife, or being wives, being married to our wives, being married to, you know, like our friendships or to our family. You know what I mean? Like, we can't ever let each other go. We have to be with each other all the time. And like true friends or true family or true lovers should never leave each other's side, like this type of thing, okay? And I feel there's kind of a belief system that, you know, around relationships. And we could have Libra energy here too, like I feel better or I feel safer when I'm in a relationship. Or and I also feel like she is sitting here with her parents, and maybe the parents wanting their son or daughter to do things a particular way in life, okay? And you realizing that they really didn't know any better than you did. You know what I mean? It's not like they have the market cornered on wisdom, okay? And I think it's become important for you guys to follow your own internal wisdom. And there's no doubt that you have a soul connection and an internal love with certain people, whether it's a friend, whether a family member that you really care about, a lover that you really have enjoyed being with. But it's also this sensation of, I can't really go anywhere or try anything new because I need other people with me. You know, like a lot of times Libra energy, and you don't have to be a Libra, but a lot of times Libra energy is like, I can't do anything in life unless I have my partner with me, or I feel better having my partner with me. And there's nothing wrong with that, pile number one. It's just that you can do things on your own. And I also just feel like you guys are not going to do things the same way as your parents did when it comes to making decisions about marriage and relationships and what's fair. You know what I mean? And what's fair to you. You know, what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander, you know, that whole saying, what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. And I do think there has been some, like, other people just kind of maybe trying to be like, well, hey, why don't you just stay here? Like, you know, there's nothing really wrong with staying here. Like, here is fine, you know, like there's nothing wrong with this, right? And sometimes feeling like, you know, that you're relying on somebody else's direction for your life instead of your own, okay? And maybe the idea that other people would like it if you would just follow their ways. You know what I mean? The thing is I don't think, the truth of the matter is, with the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Swords here, is that you can find your way just fine, and you're quite smart and capable with the Ace of Swords and Justice when other people aren't mucking you up, type of thing, okay? And some people may have tried to keep you frozen or trapped in indecision at times as well. And it may not be like for nefarious purposes. It may just be like, we know what's best for you type of energy. You know what I mean? I mean, not everyone's a narcissist and a psychopath, right? Actually, like, you know, only a small percentage of the population actually is. I feel like this is more like, you know, since you don't know what's good for yourself yet, like, let me help you and show you what's good for you. All right. When this person could try to, like, they could try to be being helpful, but I also think it maybe kept you like a little bit helpless and, you know, not being able to truly realize your independence the way you wanted to at times. And there may have been times that you were genuinely uncertain as well. And so maybe you were looking for an example of what to do, you know? And with the Ace of Swords and Justice, it's like I can clearly communicate my vision for what I want for myself in my life, and I don't need you like mucking up the fucking whatever in my life, okay? I don't need you mucking up my mental attitude. I don't need your help. I'm good, actually. Justice is, you know, pretty independent and wanting to go her own way. She's like, I can make my own decisions and I know what I'm doing here, okay? And I do think at some point you may have entertained other people's ideas of how to live or decisions to make, etc. Like, I don't know, to quote unquote be nice to them, or to not make waves, or to not, you know, cause any issues type of a thing. And, you know, for some of you, your parents may have wanted you to like marry a certain type of person, etc. But I feel like you guys are just like, now you're like, like that's not really who I am. Like, I do know what direction I want to go in with Justice. The orca whale has like a very keen sense for how to go and where to go. And they don't always travel in groups together. Like, sometimes you will have them traveling on their own, okay? And maybe you felt like, well, if I am going to go do different things or do new things, it would be easier to have another person with me. And maybe this person also told you that as well, or your family told you that, okay? But I feel like you're seeing now that, like, it's not all it's cracked up to be, you know? Like, it's not, maybe even some of you got married and you're like, you know, we got into this thing, but it's not all it's cracked up to be, you know? And justice can also be a card of divorce too. It can be a card of marriage and it can be a card of divorce, right? And I think at the time for some of you, like whether you're married or not, or whether you've been married or not, like relationships, you saw them as like a very positive thing. You know what I mean? Like, wow, we can be together. It's so wonderful. But I feel like now you're a lot more skeptical about the sacrifices that are necessary in order to be in this type of a commitment with family, friends, or a lover or a partner, okay? And I feel like you no longer, with the Eight of Swords, you no longer can ignore it, you know, with the Eight of Swords and Ace of Swords here. You can no longer ignore it. And, you know, justice is about making a choice, all right? And the Ace of Swords is about speaking your mind. So let's see what else here. We have Internal Explorer. Wow, and we have the Adventurer. Adventurer, dare to do things differently, sing your wild song, okay? Internal Explorer. When we stop looking outside of ourselves and surrender, yeah, I talked about that, and surrender to a soft inner focus, we have access to unlimited information and resources. When we stop thinking with the glass ceiling of our intellect, we have access to multidimensional wisdom. Yeah, I talked about the whales and the wisdom from the collective consciousness. Everything is there within you, waiting for expression. You are invited to explore the state of flow, right, with the whale and the ocean. You are infinitely an amazing being who can access collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the greater process or get out of your own way. Yeah, get out of your own way, right? You have the permission you feel you need. You have the permission you feel that you need. Go within and explore, or go outside and explore. Wonderful gifts are waiting for you, okay? The internal, the external, and the internal. I mean, I think you've explored other people and their ways and your friends and your family quite a bit. And some of you could have been, you know, rolling with the homies. Whoever knows where that movie is from, what movie is that from? It's from the 90s. I feel like you guys have been rolling with the homies for a long time. And I do feel like now it's kind of like, I'm not really liking, like I've already learned this. I don't want to pretend that I don't know something that I know. And once you know something, you can't unknow it. You know what I mean? Pile number one. So this is coming up for you. We have death, okay? Yeah, death to these situations where you pretend to or appear to know less than you know. You know what I mean? And if you're pretending to know less than you actually do to make other people feel comfortable or so they don't feel challenged, I feel like Spirit is just saying, you know, this is the end of that type of thing with death. Like, no more, okay? And I think you got wise to this already with the Ace of Swords. Maybe some of you have been kind of waiting to make a decision here with justice to kind of like choose yourself. Some of you may have to do with a marriage or a long-term partnership too. All right, with death, we could have scorpionic energy here as well. 999, that is one of my favorite numbers. Good for you, pile number one. Thank the past for your lessons and leave it where it belongs so you can make the best of the life that is still waiting to be fulfilled by only you. I am unique. 999. My life path number 9s, welcome to your reading. I am unique. I see the world the way I see the it for a reason. I'm not dumb, is what I feel like you guys are saying. And, you know, like this little orca jumping away from the other orcas is saying, you know, leaving the past in the, you know, where it belongs in the past and making the best with the decisions that you make and the choices that you make based on, you know, the life that is still left to be lived. And for a lot of us, if you're watching this channel, there's probably still a lot more life to be lived, okay? And I think logically you know that, but I also feel like it's irritating because you don't like wasting time, you know? We have change and courage. Yeah, like you guys, Here I Go Again on My Own, right? Do you guys know that song? Here I go again on my own. Isn't that Whitesnake? I can't sing today worth shit, but like I can't ever anyway. Change takes courage, okay? And I'm seeing the letter G here. Some of you may have that in your name, or it might just be a symbol for go. G means go. And pack your bags and go, you know? And she looks like she's about ready to catch the next train to Clarksville. And I'll meet you at the station. I think that's Beatles, right? But anyway, I don't know the Beatles that well. But yeah, I feel like, you know, change. I feel like you guys are on the precipice right now. You may be making a major decision about a relationship, or something to do with your family, or some energy that you've been, you know, pretty enmeshed with, I feel like. And I feel like you guys do need to be on your own. But change takes courage, okay? And sometimes we have to let go with death. And, you know, sometimes in life you have to choose yourself and take the more risky path and have the courage to do it. Because, I mean, we're all trying to evolve, right? Pile number one. And you are unique. So you're not going to traveling with the crowd for the rest of your life. You know, the crowd that you ran with in the past would drive you absolutely insane. Pile number one. It's almost like you don't have a choice but to choose yourself, okay? And I think maybe some of you are coming to realize this. We have fate, detours, and divine intervention, you know, as luck would have it. And we have the wedding rings here, and then we have fate, detours, and divine intervention on top of the wedding rings, okay? And, you know, a marriage is a pretty serious bond. A family is a pretty serious bond, you know? Like, it's not the easiest thing to kind of go your own way and break that up. But, you know, lightning is striking this tree, and you can see that it's illuminating the ground around it. And it's showing that maybe where you and another person, whether it's a friend, family member, whoever, lover, relationship partner, where you guys used to be this energy of two become one, or, you know, by each other's side all the time, I feel like fate has another, you know, destiny has another detour, is having you make a divine intervention here where you choose yourself. We have abundance. Okay, so, you know, whenever I see this card, it's like this woman looks like she's been baking pies all day and is like, you know, here's the fucking pie, you know, like a Stepford wife or something. Take the pie and shut up, you know. I feel like you guys giving a lot to other people with abundance, and, you know, feeling like there's a song that goes, you know, like wasting all my sunshine. It's called Bad Bitch, if you guys ever want to look it up. Who's it by? I've been a bad bitch all my life. Took me a while to realize it's my life. And in it, she says, yeah, she says that she's going to stop wasting away all her sunshine, okay? And you guys giving a lot of abundance to the people in your life, maybe to your family, maybe to friends, maybe to your romantic partner, okay? And, you know, it's coming out on death here. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done, all right? We have illumination, expression, positivity, joy, and inspiration. Yeah, and Ace of Swords is all about expression and inspiration and like seeing things in a new light with illumination, okay? And this lightning strike anyway, like I said, was illuminating the ground. And You know, I mean, I feel like in the past, you guys were like, maybe, you know, begrudgingly fitting in or doing what was asked of you, that type of thing, or happy to do whatever for other people. But now I feel like you're looking at the price and the cost of that. And some of you are kind of wild too. Like you might be into, look at the wild mushrooms here. And we have the sing your wild song. Maybe some of you like doing mushrooms and, you know, zoning out and kind of like taking some psychedelics and being like, fuck yeah, you know, people may not have ever, maybe there's things you've always wanted to try. I don't know if some of you came from a religious family either here that was like, no, the only thing you should use to alter your consciousness is prayer, shit like that. Like that's the only thing. And you guys are like, I want to try some drugs. Pile number 1, interesting. Okay, like wild mushrooms growing, and there's a ship in the background here, and it looks like it's going towards a beautiful waterfall instead of being stuck in this pasture wishing to be wild. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what, you know, is the definition of choosing yourself here. Spirit guide. Okay, my darlings, some of you have some really big changes to make, and it's choosing to come through in this reading. And your spirit guide, there is how many cards in this deck, this magic manifestation deck? I don't even know. Look how many of them there are. There's tons of them. 50? I don't know. There's a lot of them. And you guys got spirit guide. So that tells me that your guide is actually here to help you make some of these decisions and to let you know that you're not crazy. And your guide is acknowledging that you have some difficult choices coming up. And once you saw the truth of something, or once you really observed something, like it might be time to call a situation, like call it. You know what I mean? Like it's time to make a choice. It's time to call it. And your guide, I know change and courage can be very overwhelming, and the thought of like doing things on our own too can also be quite overwhelming, especially if you've been around a lot of friends and family and a marriage partner for a really long time. You know what I'm saying? Pile number 1. So your spirit guide is acknowledging there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of unlived life and an unlived potential that needs to be invoked and experienced by you. And I feel like your guide is quite sick of like this old version where we're placating other people, or we're letting other people guide us, or we're letting other people tell us, you know, what's right for us, that type of thing. And I feel like your guide is like, okay? See my finger? And yeah, and your guide knows like you have some important decisions coming up. Something big may be coming up here too, with fate and detours and divine intervention, something about a relationship, okay? And your guide is, I think your guide is kind of like it's about time, but he or she, I feel like it's a she here, but she is going to help you through this, okay? Because she knows there's a lot of things that you want to do and try and go, and is going to help you get out of some of these things, okay? We have the 6th house and routine. And I do feel like the routine aspect in, also the 6th house is a house of servitude. You know what I mean? And I talked about in the beginning of this reading about, you know, compulsively serving, you know, others in some type of group, or not, or just following the same routine every single day as you always do, and not really questioning it, right? And I feel like this is something that is going to have, that has a big detour energy around it. Some of you may have a lot of 6th house planets in your chart. And we have card 30 here. So some of you could be around the age 30 or going through your Saturn return on top of it, or coming out of that, are going into it. But I feel I feel like here Spirit is asking you to just, you know, to not just go with the flow every day and, you know, accept something as like part of your life and part of your routine, and to switch up your routine and be okay with the things that you found very routine in your life being jostled up here. You know what I mean? Like with this Fate card and the Lightning Strike and the Justice card, I do feel like there's some, you know, there's a hammer coming down right now, and it is going to bring change, pile number one, for sure. But it's here to break you out of a rut. It's here to break you out of a routine that had you living or feeling like you were living a life unlived. You know, that there was some part of your life that hasn't been lived yet. And yeah, I also feel like good routines for your body is very is very necessary too. And you know, choosing to take care of yourself and the things that you need to do for your own physical health, and whether that's mental health, emotional health, physical health, and choosing to do the things that actually support that and support the positive habits that you're forming in your life, instead of just routinely kind of going about and doing what other people are doing, expecting that will work for you. Because I don't think it works for you in a way. I think you're meant to explore and adventure and make certain decisions that may be hard to make at times. All right, for those of you that have Libra in your chart, you know, that is a big thing. Like for Libra, people that have Libra energy, or just people in general, like coming to a crossroads in life where it's like, okay, this is serious now, and these decisions need to be made. Okay, so pile number one, your spirit guide showed up here as well, and some things have been illuminated around your unique path and your need to embrace the adventure in life. Okay, so pile number one, I hope you choose yourself over everyone else where appropriate in life, and do your best to always be your unique self. Okay, pile number one, thank you so much, my lovelies, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Let's move on to pile and number two. Okay, let's do it. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the blue tiger eye, and today's reading is called Choose Yourself Over Everyone Else, okay? And I did an intro explaining what I mean by that. I don't mean like, you know, give your children up and run away from them and never see them again. Obviously, right? We all have responsibilities and other people that we'd like to help and choose, especially children. But anyway, you know, you always have to give a precursor to everything these days and kind of let people know where you're coming from. However, there are certain things in life that you can do to choose yourself over everyone else, and that may be in relationships, work, family, etc. Let's go ahead and see for pile number two. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the beautiful energy of my pile number twos who come here today seeking your wonderful guidance. Thank you for allowing me to be the medium between yourself and pile number two. The Knight of Wands. Don't hold back, my lovelies, okay? Just because something is burning doesn't mean you can't jump through it. I like it. It's vivacious. Let's get into it, pile number two. Let's see. We have butterfly and rebirth, okay? You can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey, okay? You've been through many different iterations in your lifetime already, pile number two, where you've gone through really significant changes. And, you know, like Madonna always reinvented it herself. Like the best musicians that are the most, and you may not like Madonna, I don't know, but like The best talented musicians that are gonna have longevity know how to constantly like reinvent themselves. So whether you're a creative or whether you do other types of work, you can always reinvent yourself. And if you feel like you made a bad impression, or you feel like you didn't like what you did there, or you wish you would have chosen differently, Spirit is saying you can reinvent yourself and be open to change, okay? And yeah, love every part of your journey. I mean, you don't have to love every part of it, pile number 2. I know that's very hard to love every part of your journey, but I do think you should take stock of how much you've changed and what a blessing that is for you, okay? We have the 6 of Cups, and here's you guys thinking about family, friends, relationships. Maybe some of you thinking about whether you want children or not, for those of you that don't have any and would maybe like to. Just thinking about these important life choices. Also with the 6 of Cups, reminiscing on the way things used to be, okay? And wanting to go back to, or having a perfect idealized notion of what family, friends, and togetherness look like. And I feel like it's just very different for you, pile number 2. And Spirit is encouraging you to understand that and know that, and to not get stuck in the past, right? Which could be the downside of the 6 of Cups, is getting too lost in the memory, getting too, submerged in the looking back at the prior past experience, even though it was a long time ago, right? And seeing here, be open to the rewards of change. We have here Ace of Cups. Okay, I like that. Instead of getting stuck in, memories, and there could be a situation too where you guys wanted a particular partnership or a particular family situation to turn out a certain way, and maybe at one point it was really good. But I also feel like for some of you, like waiting for other people to show you the love that you've shown them, okay? And I feel like these people are kind of oblivious to the fact, and it could be a romantic partner, a mother, a sister or brother here, multiple people who have kind of taken your role in their life for granted and assumed that you would always be around. And like you're a very comforting presence, I feel like, pile number 2, to people. But I mean, people kind of taking advantage of that a little bit. And while they're just continuing on with their lives and paying attention to whatever's in front of them, you've been, thinking about them, reminiscing about the past, thinking about all that you gave into this situation and how it was never acknowledged and it was never fully appreciated, okay? And that could be with partners, it could be with family or friends or both, okay? And I do feel like there has been 3 main relationships in your life that you've pretty much outgrown, pile number 2. And instead of like clinging back on a situation or getting overly, sometimes we can get overly precious about being sentimentality, right? Like we can get overly precious about being sentimental, looking back on something, instead of just being, open to the rewards of change. And I do feel like, there's been at least 3 major relationships, whether it's friends, family, romantic partners, that you've had to change and move away from in your own way, or that Spirit wants you to, okay? And that's so that you can open yourself up to new and better experiences. And look, she's holding this cup. And look at all the butterflies it's not even 3 butterflies. It's, 50 butterflies, 60 butterflies. It's, you know, and I think what you guys have done is provided, you know, you guys have maybe at times sat back and given love to situations and then watch other people transform and leave your life, okay? And then you're stuck wondering, like, when is it my turn? You know, like, when is it my turn to kind of, you know, everyone else is getting this love, or everyone else is getting my love, or everyone else is going off in their own directions in life. It's straight up 2 o'clock right now, pile number 2 in your pile, okay? Everyone is going off in their own direction after all the love and energy that I've poured into this situation. But what about, you know, what about my growth? What about my evolution? What about my change? You know? And this is where you guys, with the Ace of Cups and the self-love and all of that, this is where you guys are needing to choose yourself, okay? And I think, you know, you are a very deep and loving person, and you care a lot for others, and your capacity to love with the Ace of Cups is just maybe more than some of the people in your life. And the way that you've loved and the way that you've cared is at a different level. You know what I'm saying? Pile number 2. And sometimes that can cause feelings of resentment. You know, the 6 of Cups is Sun and Scorpio, which can be resentful. It's like, you know, I gave and gave, and it's like, you people don't even type of thing, okay? So Spirit's saying that you can reinvent yourself, you can change yourself, and be open to things changing in your life. We have the Page of Swords. Okay, I like it. And I feel like you guys, looks like someone here is graduating and has learned a lot, okay? And has a ton of knowledge, all right? Someone's a student of life and has quite a sharp mind. And I feel like this could also be a spirit guide for you guys, like a male spirit guide, saying like, you know, you have so much knowledge and wisdom to share. You have so many more things to learn. You have so many more things to do. There's so many things you can study, and you can grow, and you can be intellectually turned on by. You know, don't wait for things to change. Go out and seek new information and new experiences, and it's going to push your life to the next level, okay? And you're going to get some distance from these people in this situation where you're no longer going to be as emotionally entrenched or enmeshed. I feel like you guys are going to be able to stand proud and firm in what you know, and you're like, yeah, that happened, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not going to focus on it that much anymore because I've got so many other things that I want to focus on. So fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Pile number 2. Let's see what else we have here. We have a hand of cards, taking a chance. Okay, yeah, so Spirit really wanting you guys to take a chance here, and don't stay, you know, stuck back just because, you know, you love people and you want to see them grow and change. I mean, it's a great thing, pile number 2, but it's time to take a risk. It's time to be strategic about your own life and consider your own options, okay? And maybe you're not going to tell everyone what you're doing. Maybe you're not going to, you know, and maybe other people are going to be upset because they think that you're, you know, gambling with something in your life, or you're not showing them the truth or whatever. But, you know, I feel like you're supposed to be strategic right now, and you should be really focused on your options in this situation or in your life instead of, you know, holding space for everyone else. I think you've done it long enough, okay? I I think you've really cared about other people's happiness and wanted to see them. For some of you, you could have had you could have people in their life that owe their success or some of their success to you because of your ability to hold space for them and because you cared. All right. For those of you that, had to take care of siblings growing up, for those of you that had to take care of a partner, or, which is fine. Like, we can take care of our partners, but not at the expense of, our own growth. And there is a line there. There is a line there. And I feel like you guys have a really big heart, pile number 2, but you're also, and I do think there are people that are indebted to you. For those of you that have taken care of your parents as well, family members, friends, like, you really held things down so that other people can accomplish things. I also feel like some of you were holding it down while a partner was in school, etc., these types of things. And I mean, that's great. Like, when you love someone, we make sacrifices, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like it's your turn now. All right, pile number 2, it's your turn. It's your turn to be holding all the cards and all the chips. It's your turn to be making a plan. It's your turn to consider your options instead of, being the emotional paperweight for everyone else, okay? We have here crown chakra, the unlimited self, okay? Some of you may have only seen yourself as like, well, I'm only good when I'm supporting others and holding space for others, okay? So Spirit really wanting to talk to you guys about the unlimited self. The crown chakra is your link to multidimensionality of your being, the seat of your soul. It gracefully connects you to the heavens. The infinity symbol of limitlessness appears within the unfolding petals and points to your most potent potential. Here you can delight in the divine strands of light that dance within us when we're aligned with spirit, purpose, and truth. Okay, I feel you guys have always been aligned with spirit, and you maybe put some of your own things aside so that other people could pursue their purposes or their studies or their things. But the truth is, now it's you. Like, you're the one that is going to be aligned with all 3: spirit, purpose, and truth, okay? Be present and flow without rigid outcomes. Find more spaces in your life. Find your own way to meditate. Explore the state of flow and be receptive to the intuitive messages that you may receive, okay? And some of you here could be very intuitive with the Ace of Cups, Six of Cups, and the butterfly, all right? We have movement, yep, and that is coming out on the Six of Cups, where you have lingered and you have waited and you've held back and you've waited for others to acknowledge you or to acknowledge your contributions, while at times feeling left out by other people, okay? And Spirit talking to you guys about moving on from that, okay? And opening your heart up to new things, to learning new things, and to growing, and to taking a chance, okay? Number 2, I am diplomatic. You have a great talent for finding solutions. Yeah, you really do. You help so many people find solutions, even with the Page of Swords, too. Like, you find solutions for people and find ways to help them change and grow. But what about your growth? You know what I mean? You have a great talent for finding solutions. Your intuitive and unbiased nature allows you to see all sides of any situation. Page of Swords, okay? And advise others towards their most fair and beneficial outcome. I am diplomatic. Yeah, and, I feel you guys have done this a lot. Like, you've been the middleman or the person helping others connect so that they can get along. Maybe in your family, you were like the mediator, or you tried to help solve everyone's problems, and you were there so that other people could flourish off your energy and grow, okay? Which, you know, that I'm not saying it's right, pile number 2. As Whitney Houston would say, it's not right, but it's okay. I'm going to make it anyway, okay? And it's not right, but it's okay. I'm going to make it anyway. So I do feel like, you know, you have been this very diplomatic person, helping others, being there for others, you know, but I feel like a lot of times people put you in the second position because of this, or thought that you would always just be there, you know, helping them, supporting them. And it's like, no, with the Page of Swords, I have goals and dreams of my own, okay? And I feel like a lot of people thought that you were just good for like caring for people emotionally instead of having a mind of your own. You know what I'm saying? And I do think choosing yourself involves moving and changing and getting to experience your unlimited self, okay? Where you're not stuck. We have the North Node and cosmic purpose, okay? So your guys' the North Node in astrology is the dragon's head. The South Node is the dragon's tail. And the dragon's head is consuming the experiences that we're taking on in this lifetime. The dragon's tail is where the dragon shitteth, as my astrology teacher would say. Do you want to be where the dragon shitteth, or where the dragon eats a fine meal? Obviously, where the dragon eats so the North Node is, you know, what we're learning and what we're expanding into, okay? What might not be the most comfortable for us, but at the same time, we yearn for it, okay? And there is something in your cosmic purpose about studying and learning and growing and knowledge, and maybe taking more classes as a way to connect with your cosmic purpose, all right? And being able to do what you love instead of being there financially, emotionally, whatever it was, taking care of everyone else and their needs, okay? Spirit really wanting to connect you with your cosmic purpose and North Node and push you faster into that, okay? We have here cycles and completion. Wow, look at the butterfly and change. Look at it right there. Here's another butterfly, all right? There's 3 butterflies, there's 4 butterflies now. And, you know, like her face is like bloody, it's blue. Looks like she's been crying, like she's done. She's definitely done. And Spirit is saying, you know, it's completed, all right? Like as Whitney Houston would say, it's not right, but it's okay. We can't change the past. We're not going to be able to get other people to see, you know, just how fucking oblivious they are at times to some of the sacrifices that you made for them. Like, you know, if you were waiting for some type of validation or waiting for people to acknowledge you for the things that you did, how you have said or done, pile number 2, I feel like, you know, that's what's maybe been holding you back or keeping you hostage a bit here. And waiting for these people in your life to kind of, and maybe not all of them were shitheads, you know, like I said in pile number 1, not everyone's a narcissist or a psychopath. Some people are just oblivious. You know what? Some people are just oblivious to the love and the care that other people and the emotional space that other people have held from them. And they're just not that emotionally intelligent, so they're oblivious to it. You know what I mean? They're not meaning harm by it, but it's just done now. Okay, pile number 2 with this cycles and completion and change. It's time for you to get out of your comfort zone of being there for everyone else and letting everyone else use you as a jump off point for their freedom and sense of change, and to allow you to actually be the one who's going to do that now. And I feel you guys are going to be surprising some people with your choices and decisions, but let them be surprised. And if they feel like they don't know you anymore, these people in your life, because you've changed so much, you went from the Ace of Cups to the Page of Swords, you know, let them figure it out. You're the one that is holding the hands of cards now. And if they want to know you or acknowledge you or be around you, then they can make that effort. Pile number 2. We have don't stop, okay? Don't stop, all right? You guys may be in the middle of learning something new here with the Page of Swords and, you know, wanting to take something on. And you may be in the middle of a big change right now with this rebirth energy. You know, going from the caterpillar to the chrysalis to the butterfly is a big old thing. You know, it's a big thing. And it takes a lot of energy with movement here. And, you know, it is your crown chakra, your unlimited self, your connection to spirit and to source and to learning and growing. Spirit is saying, don't stop, don't give up, keep going. You are in the middle of a massive rebirth right now, pile number 2. Keep pushing, keep going, okay? Keep doing it, my loves. You know, the hardest part is starting, right? With the Page of Swords, the hardest part is starting. And if you think about all the work ahead, it can get very overwhelming. Just keep going, one foot in front of the other. As Sia would say in her song Flames, one foot in front of the other, babe. Okay, pile number 2. We have manifestation, prosperity, fortune, and pure intentions, okay? And this guy looks like he has anything but pure intentions. I mean, did some of you have a relationship with someone that manifested its way into your life in a very weird way? Did some of you guys end up with romantic partners that like take everything or are very selfish and like leave you out of the equation? And, you know, like even financially at times, maybe not sharing with you or fucking you over financially maybe at times. And I just feel like, you know, people in your life really stealing from you sometimes, pile number 2, like stealing your energy with the Ace of Cups and the Six of Cups because they like it and they want it. Like if you could drain someone of their Ace of Cups every day, like you would feel really good and that other person would feel like shit, okay? But have you guys been around people that have sold you out or sold you down the river, who have gambled with your fate and not let you have any fucking say in it? Pile number 2, okay? And some of you may have been with someone that really fucked you over financially, fucked you over about a house or a family situation, or fucked you out of something, okay? And kept everything for themselves. And, you know, the thing about this whole thing, pile number 2, is for a lot of you, this may actually remind you of situations from your family where you were taking care of everyone, you were being the support for everyone. I feel like some of you were there for another person as they were studying and growing and changing, and then they took all that prosperity and whatever they got from it and completely never thanked you, completely took whatever they could from the situation and just went on with their fucking day. Now, I think pile number 2, you have been around some very greedy people, greedy and selfish people, all right? And, you know, that leave you in a lurch and leave you wondering, like, what about me? Or, you know, or aren't you gonna help me out with something here too? Like, no. And I feel like these people they're concerned with their own survival and what they can get out of the situation. And yeah, pile number 2, I'm not, whoever did this to you, if it was a romantic partner or somebody in your life that did this to you, I am so sorry. This person ain't shit, pile number 2, okay? And they're on a high horse right now because they think they did something there. but whatever they did is going to run out soon. And, you know, the thing is they don't have nothing. They don't have anything if they don't have you. So whatever they got from you, whether it's emotional, physical, financial, emotionally, whatever they got from you, it's going to get spent really quickly. It's going to run out, and they're the ones that are going to be left with nothing because they don't have the ability to generate anything on their own. You're the generator. All right, pile number 2. All right, and we have here trust. Okay, yeah, you guys are in a really big change right now. You are in a trust fall with life that is going to push you out of diplomacy and out of, you know, love for everything around you. I mean, those are beautiful things, but it's going to cause you to be more strategic. It's going to cause you to not show your hand to everybody. It's going to cause you to learn more, to become super sharp, and to, you know, be more logical about some of the people in your life instead of being an open heart to everyone. Like, you're going to start making some very cool, rational assessments about the people and situations around you. And they may actually find you to be a little bit emotionally detached at times, you know, whether it's people that got used to you being like this or whatever. But it's just, you know, good. Let them sit there and wonder. Or let them sit there and not wonder, and you just go on with your life and do what you want. 222. See it on my clock, pile number 2, 222 and pile number 2. Okay, then we have the 11th house and friends. So definitely this could involve some friends where you were always giving them compliments, you were always giving them love, you were always there for them, and, you know, and listening to them, and you're just like, you know what? So that they can look down on you at times, I feel you guys are just done with this. You would rather free fall into nothing than to have people like this in your life, okay? And this is card 35. Some of you could be around that age, or maybe something really important happened around age 35 regarding your cosmic purpose in life. You didn't miss the boat, pile number 2. You're still on the boat. You're moving, okay? You have movement. Don't stop, all right? You didn't miss the boat because of these people. There's still time, you know? Some people get degrees and when they're 60 years old. Some people discover their life purpose when they're 55. Whatever, doesn't matter. And we can all have different life purposes at various times, okay? And I think a lot of people grew to depend on your love and your kindness, okay? And I do feel like healing and helping others is a part of your life path. And I do think there's going to be a lot of people that gravitate you because of your knowledge, because of your talents, because of your life purpose. Okay, pile number 2. And I do think you guys are going to have some people in your life that are very connected with you. Like, they look at you and wonder, are you okay? How are you doing? You know, like, let's talk. And, you know, come here, let me give you a hug, right? And you look sad today. I mean, I feel like you guys having people like this in your life who really notice you and see you and show up for you that way, that is a true friend, and that is a true person in your life. If you're always the one comforting and being there for these people, it's a no-go, okay? Some of you may be into Reiki, healing, massage, all different kinds of things. You can really help people, but at times you need people to love on you and support you too, okay? And if they can't, then they're going to be met with some coolness, okay? Pile number 2, they're going to be met with a little iciness, I feel like, from you, because you're sick of this with these cycles. And, you know, either meet me in the same place that I'm meeting you or roundabout there, and we do this together and we're there for one another back and forth, or see ya, you know. And I also feel like Spirit is saying, just don't stop what you're doing. Keep going. Don't let other people's selfishness and greed get you down. Your diplomacy is actually going to be part of the great talent that you have in life. You are in a trust fall right now with life. And know that now, like, I feel like you guys discovering your cosmic purpose in life is going to put you in contact with loving, caring friends that actually like care about how you're doing, you know, and would be willing. I'm laughing because it's so dumb with some of these people in your life, pile number 2, the way that they behave. You know, it just makes me wonder, like, is their soul like 2 years old or what? Anyway, pile number 2, I could go on and on and on. Spirit really wanting you guys, don't stop, okay? Keep reaching for your unlimited self, and you are in mid-transformation right now, but keep going. Keep going, okay? Pile number 2, it's worth it, my friends. It is worth it. And take care, my lovelies. I'd love to hear your comments, too. Take care. Let's move on to pile and number 3. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the Rainbow Moonstone, my darlings. Okay, I'm going to set that right there. And we're going to go ahead and get into your reading. It's called Choose Yourself Over Everyone Else. And if you want to know what I mean by that, you can listen to my intro. I really explained it quite a few times in many different ways. So I'm not telling you to abandon all your responsibilities in life and go join the circus, but I am saying there's a lot of places in life where we need to choose ourselves, okay? And so that we can grow, because our growth is important too, all right? Pile number 3, spirits, angels, and guides. Please connect me to the energy of my pile number 3s who come here today seeking your wonderful guidance. Thank you so much, Spirit, for allowing me to be the medium between yourself and pile number 3. Thank you so much. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, there you are. And I like your look, pile number 3. You're like surveying what's going on around you, and you're like, you know, and there might have been a damned if I do, damned if I don't kind of an energy at times that has been around you. And so maybe at times you've wanted to withdraw your effort from situations and just let people figure it out on their own. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting all your time, effort, money, or resources into situations, letting people kind of figure it out for themselves at some point, okay? For some of you, you may have adult children that need to grow up and kind of figure it out. And for some of you, you may have, you know, people that rely on you a lot for things, and friends, family, romantic partners, etc. Because you're so good at handling things and you never turn anyone away with the Star card, okay? You know, I mean, some people though, they just like the attention, or they just for some of you, this may be a romantic partner as well that you tend to mother. Whether you're a man or a woman watching this, you may have a very mothering side to you, and you may pick partners that are younger, or you know, somebody who's not as mature, somebody who likes the attention of having a goddess Diana in their life, or having, you know, a goddess Venus in their life, or you know, having the goddess in their life, you know, spoon feed them every day, even though it's your partner, gushy, gushy, goo, you know, type of thing. Or even just children that can definitely go do things for themselves, but are just kind of wanting to lavish in your presence, okay? Yeah. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, I do think you guys have a maternal way about you that others find you because you're putting out this signal, like, you know, I'm mothering, I'm nurturing, I'll be there for you. I care a lot about humanity and others. But I do feel with this Queen of Pentacles, it's kind of like you guys are saying it's about time you take some responsibility for yourself, okay, to whoever these people are in your life, so, or situations. So let's go ahead and see, how can pile number 3 choose themselves over everyone else? We have Bison and Abundance, okay, and it says here, Sacred Buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. Okay? And I feel like for you guys that there may be some people in your life too that have needed or wanted money from you at times, and you know, some of you could be paying for your parents in some cases for certain things. And, you know, for those of you that have families of your own, or you'd like to, or you've got certain goals around money and things like that, I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, choose yourself, all right? And choose yourself, okay? They'll be fine, is the message that I'm getting here. All right. And I do feel like you guys are very gratitude. You do have a lot of gratitude, and you guys may have a lot of people around you that really like you or enjoy your energy because you're so caring and loving and all of that. But these people need to have gratitude for you too. You know what I mean? Pile number 3, Ace of Cups. Oh my God. Ace of Cups actually came up, what was it, in I think it was pile number 1, or was it pile number 2? I can't remember now, but it definitely came up. There must be something with the Ace of Cups about loving yourself and choosing yourself, right? My cup runneth over. And indeed, your guys' cup does runneth over. Look at it. And a lot of people are attracted to that because you ooze this energy, you know, this like goddess, empress, star card, you know, all these like little babies attracted to you, whether it's like children, whether it's like, you know, people that are attracted into your light because it's like, oh, it feels so safe and comforting to like be in your energy. I feel like you guys have quite a formidable energy signature. Like your energy is quite big, and psychically, whether people know it or not, they are picking up on your magnificence or your ability to at times shower people with love, okay? Yeah, as soon as I said that, there goes the Lovers, okay? And, you know, maybe sometimes in your guys' life, you've had to choose yourself over a partner, okay? Because they weren't appreciating you, they weren't loving you the same way, they were, it's like, wait a second, you know, wait a second here. And I do feel like there has been some type of division here between you and another person. You may actually still be with this person or around this person here, but I mean, I kind of feel like sometimes it's all about what this person wants, you know, and they may not even ask you what you want or if you like them. You know, I was talking about the show Love is Blind in my intro that's on Netflix. Check it out if you guys haven't seen it, season 2. And I was talking about a couple on there, Deep D and Shake, and how he talked trash about her looks the entire time. And then they were supposed to decide if they were going to get married, and he acted like the whole time like it was his decision. You know what I mean? The fact of the matter is both of them had a choice in the matter. And, you know, he acted like the whole thing was about him accepting her. You know what I mean? And when they were at the altar, the priest was like, you know, Deepti to the woman, do you take this man to be your husband? And she's like, no, I don't. You know, I deserve better than that. And she just turned around and walked out. And then she was met with her mother, and her mother gave her a huge hug and said, I'm so happy, like, you chose yourself. And she's like, yep. And she wasn't crying. She wasn't anything. She's like, I choose myself. And I thought that was so powerful, you know? And this couple is just kind of reminding me of that, because they were an Indian couple. But it's very interesting. And this person assuming that you already chose them, and you're the one that's lucky for the fact that they chose you. And I feel like you guys are kind of like, wait a minute, you know, I get a choice in this matter too. And you know what's funny on that show? I don't mean to go off on this show, but that show inspired this reading for me, like choose yourself over everyone else. And like, the funny thing about it is, after she rejected him, he acted like, to all his friends and family, like it was no big deal and he didn't care. And he's like, whatever, you know, like this kind of attitude. But you could tell that the rejection affected him. And it's like he never really thought that she would be the one to reject him, which is so funny, you know? And so I feel like for you guys in partnership, pile number 3, like in love and partnerships, it is very important that you're not the one that's always giving, and you're not the one that is overflowing with love, while you're with others that just assume your love. Because you are loving. You know, it's so funny. Some people make other people earn their love. Other people just love, simply. You know what I mean, pile number 3? And for those of you that, I think you guys with the Ace of Cups, you just love. And, you know, other people may find that very attractive or get pulled into your energy, or they may find a better reflection of themselves because you love them, when actually they're just kind of a shithead. You know what I'm saying, pile number 3? So, I mean, think about it. Watch that show if you want to know what I'm talking about. We have the 8 of Wands. Oh my God. And this is like, I feel like this is your guides knocking some sense into you here, pile number 3. They're like, don't marry this person. Don't be with this person. Don't, like, this person isn't worth your time and energy. They suck. Because it looks like this guy is about to, you know, like he's got his foot out, like it's about to beat the back of her head, like someone smacks the back of your head and is like, I'm about to knock some sense into you. And maybe sometimes in love, you guys made like very snap decisions or jumped into things quickly because there was this passionate outpouring of love. And then it's like, wait a hot second here with the 8 of Wands. Like, what is actually going on here? And I feel like sometimes maybe a lot of energy going into situations with people as well who are very abandoning at times. That can be the negative side of the 8 of Wands, like directionless, abandoning, you know, only caring that things get done fast the way that they want them done, that type of thing, okay? And it's almost like this energy of, it feels right, so let's just go ahead and do it. But then finding out that someone doesn't have the same ability to love as you do, pile number 3, okay? And maybe sometimes in your life you kind of rushed into things too, because when you love someone, it's like you love them with your heart, you know? And look at the stars here on her shirt, and look at them on this Ace of Cups. Maybe at times you wondered, like, is it me or is it them? It's, as far as the person who really loves and has this outpouring of love, and this person was attracted to you, pile number 3, not the other way around, okay? They picked up the scent of your love and what you give, and they wanted that for themselves, okay? So you may question that, like, was this me? Did I have this in my head or what? No, I don't think so, okay? Like, this person saw the love that you have and came in hot with it, okay? We have the hammer. Yeah, your guides are hammering this person. Like, you know, settle the fuck down. All right. And we have the hammer sabotaging. So by jumping into things quickly and seeing in someone's eyes that they love me because I've shown them a vision of love that makes them feel good about themselves, then it causes us to move forward very quickly and be very excited about this thing. But finding out that, damn, like, you know, there was sabotage here. And some of you may have dealt with, you know, repetitive and persistent situations where you jumped into things quite quickly and, you know, it seemed like this other person was on the same page with you, but they're actually quite immature and don't know the first thing about love. They just know how to rush towards something that wants them. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, I feel like people like that, they act like they're not afraid of rejection, but they are. You know what I mean? So it's this whole game. And I feel like sometimes you guys may have gotten drawn into these types of situations, okay? And I do think you're working on this, though, and you're working on rebuilding your own self-love and your own self-esteem. And, you know, sometimes we feel like the only reason people love me is because I love them and pour the love on them. And it's just not true, pile number 3. There will be, I mean, there are people like that in the world and they suck. But there are people that will just simply love. You know, with the Ace of Cups, just simply love. We have here communication, co-creation. We normally think of information as something that can be written or spoken. But if something is multidimensional, it is almost impossible to share it with words, the Ace of Cups, right? How are you communicating beyond words, right? I feel, like I said, your guys' energy drawing in someone else with this co-creation, okay? How are you communicating beyond words? Something may be getting lost in translation. Yeah, in a relationship, etc. An issue may be cleared through improved communication. The Lovers is Gemini energy, which Mercury rules Gemini. So communication, I mean, communicating a lot is not the same, like da-da-da-da-da-da, communicating a lot, 8 of Wands, is not the same as communicating from the heart with the Ace of Cups, okay? And sometimes less is more. Something may be getting lost in translation. An issue may be cleared through improved communication. Maybe you felt this, like this person wants to co-create with me, and if we can communicate effectively, it would work. Listen carefully to what someone else has to say without interruption. Listen to what this person is doing a certain thing and acting a certain way. Instead of buying into the dream right away, though, listen to what they're actually saying. 8 of Wands, all right? It's a card of Mercury and Sagittarius, so it's very blunt. It's like, okay, like this is coming at me, but I don't really want to hear it or see it, and you feel drawn into a moment with this person, so it's like hard to resist the moment. You know what I mean? But Spirit is saying, listen carefully to what they are actually saying without interrupting it. Further, it may feel scary to share a vulnerable truth, but this may be the only way forward. This card also encourages greater exploration in the realms of telepathy, healing, and the arts, such as poetry, painting, and music, where there is a collective communication beyond the mind. And the thing is I don't think telepathy is appropriate in earth-based relationships. When I say earth-based relationships, I mean two human beings who are living on this planet. You know, like, I mean, it's because the earth plane, I mean, telepathy is possible, but it's not an appropriate way to communicate on the earth plane when we're trying to see where someone is really at and where someone is really standing. You know what I mean, pile number 3? So, you know, a vulnerable truth is going to have to be shared and talked about, and really listening to what this other person is saying and whether it makes sense for you or not, okay? And we have here energy. All right, so, you know, lots of people can take your energy. I mean, I'm not trying to scare you, pile number 3. I'm just saying a lot of people want to be in your energy or be with your energy because your energy is quite loving and attractive, okay? And they like what they're getting from you. It's like an instant high with this 8 of Wands, like, woo, you know? But I mean, and you know, but what's going on here? Because it's a complicated thing. If you look at all the energy kind of going back and forth, it may not actually be that complicated. Some of you guys may be like, yes, it is really complicated. But at the end of the day, listen to what I said about simply loving, you know, and complicating things too much. We have 1111, I am awakening. Absolutely, okay? Choose yourself over everyone else, pile number 3, because you're awakening. And the universe is giving you a big kick in the butt by having you look at something that maybe you'd rather not look and kind of hammering the point home, okay? I feel like, you know, the universe is saying it's time to wake up. The universe is arranging people and experiences on your path to help you succeed and help you wake up to who you truly are. Now, you guys may not feel that way at all. You may think the people that the universe sends me are fucking clowns. You know what I mean? I feel you, pile number 3. I feel you on that. I've been in your position anyway. And I'm not here to explain why we have clowns in our life. Like, who knows? Why do we have hard experiences in our life? Who knows? Like, I'm not God. I can't explain that to you, pile number 3. But what your spirit guides is saying is that we're giving you a swift kick in the butt and a wake-up call here. And know that you are awakening to who you truly are. And part of who you truly are is someone who lives in the energy of love and abundance. And probably also telepathy, healing, the arts, poetry, painting, and music too. You know, all of that stuff. We have self-love. Oh yeah, the creation of self-love and the intention to create self-love with the Ace of Cups. Absolutely. And I feel after this challenging phase that you guys have been going through with this person or people in your life, that you're working on it. You are. I think you guys already know this. Like, you're like, I know, Nat. Like, you're calling me Nat, which is funny, but I know, Nat, I'm working on it, okay? Like, usually, like, really close friends and family usually call me Nat, which is funny. So, pile number 3. Anyway, maybe you feel like a friend, but to me, but anyway, or to each other. But the intention is here, like, you're like, I'm working on it. I'm creating, you know, I'm setting an intention to self-love, and I'm, you know, gonna rebuild my life. And I hear the wake-up call from the universe, and I got it, universe, okay? Like, the universe, you're like this, like, okay, to the universe, I got it. We have here distance, retreat, or timeout. So you may need some space, and, you know, from a situation or a person, so that, and I do feel like someone in your life could have been taking distance from you, and then they kind of came back, and then you're snuggling up next to them, that type of energy too. There may be kind of an on and off, like them taking distance, then coming back to you with the 8 of Wands, rushing back in. Your love is still there. type of thing. And, you know, that's not really that type of distance isn't really an appropriate timeout, you know, because that's like, you know, I feel like Spirit is saying here, really think if you've been taking time out from certain people in your life because of this dynamic that I've just explained, really think about, you know, what the definition of taking a time out from something actually is. Because I feel like with this energy card, you and this person are all still up in each other's energy. And just because I said that telepathy is not a good way to communicate with your partner on the earth plane doesn't mean that telepathy on the earth plane isn't possible. You know what I mean? And you may feel like you and this person have this kind of energy together, but if you're trying to have a relationship and create a future that makes sense through proper communication, then telepathy is not an appropriate mechanism. And I think you're probably like, I already know, Natalie. I already know, right? I've been trying to walk away. I've been trying to take some time out here. Okay. And I mean, I think you love this person. Pile number 3, it could be a friend, a family member, a lover. I mean, or you did at one point, you really did love this person. So taking a time out can feel very like, you know, like separation anxiety. But I feel like it really kind of does need to happen so that you can kind of get your footing, because there is some type of energetic enmeshment between you two where they're feeling your love. They're seeing the positive in themselves through you. It's a big old love fest, which is great. But, you know, what happens when there's a problem? What happens when, what happens when things come up, right? And that we got to have good communication skills, you know? We have here, listen to your intuition. Okay, so now this whole thing of an issue may be cleared through improved communication. Listen carefully to what someone has to say without interruption. Okay, you may be telling yourself that if you and this person can clearly communicate, it will fix the problems and we'll be back to this love fest with one another. But I really want you guys to, and you know, sometimes we want to believe things because it feels nicer and Ace of Cups. But, and that's not, you know, it's not a crime to want to believe something nice about someone that you love, right? But listen to your intuition, number 1, pile number 3, and number 2, listen carefully to what this person actually has to say or said in the past without interruption. When I say interruption, I mean without interrupting with your own thoughts and, you know, making up a story around what they're saying. Just listen to what they're saying and take it at face value. Is it good or is it bad, right? And I also think listen to what they're not saying, because people could say a multiple number of things in any situation. Is someone reassuring and loving and open and vulnerable in a moment when that is really required? Or does somebody kind of like 1% act like that and the rest of the stuff is just cold or just non-committal or just not emotional? You know what I mean? Like, really listen to what they're saying and what they're not saying. And in that situation, what would you expect a loving partner to say to you? Okay, so, or a loving friend or a loving family, you know? We have harmonic resolution. Okay, and I think number 19 here with the energy, I think you guys are really focused on, you know, harmonizing with others and seeking resolution. And there may be a tendency to want to avoid negativity or anger and just go straight to the forgiveness with the Ace of Cups, or just go straight to the love because it's there and we feel it and all of that. But I do feel like a lot of people associate anger with negativity, but it's not. It's just energy. you know, and it's there for a reason. If you're pissed off or you feel like your guides, you know, kicked you in the back of the head and told you to wake up, I am awakening, and you're pissed, and I mean, then be pissed, you know, pile number 3. Then if there's something in you that feels quite angry or upset about this, you know, understand why that is instead of just immediately going to transmutation, right? Because sometimes, you know, and we do have to, with good, clear communication, we can have harmonic resolution with others. But like I said, pile number 3, we have to be really careful with this whole concept that we're not rushing the situation because we want to get back to the love like right quick. You know what I mean? Or we want to get back to that good feeling like immediately, right? Sometimes the anger has a purpose. Like it needs to come to the surface, okay? And you guys are very, very loving with this Ace of Cups, people being very attracted to that in you. But also at times, I feel like your energy can also be angry. And you may not like that, but it is sometimes angry, pile number 3. I'm not like saying that as a question. I'm like, yeah, it's angry sometimes, you know? Maybe you're pissed off with me in this reading and you're like, shut up, like throwing your phone across the room. I don't know. But I mean, I get angry too. Like I feel I'm a pretty loving person as well, pile number 3, but you know, I can get pissed off too. And you know, if you feel intrinsically pissed about something, then listen to your intuition, okay? We have closure here with this awakening and closure. So it's like either there is going to be a harmonic resolution where we talk and we clearly communicate, and you also, I feel like, really say what it is. See what I'm doing here? Hammer it home. Say what you need to say, okay? Some of you may choose closure in this situation. Maybe some of you have already chosen closure and you've already chosen yourself over this person because you got a huge fucking wake-up call already, okay? And if that's the case, pile number 3, I applaud you. I sincerely do, okay? And I think most of the time you guys would rather resolve things with open communication and in harmony, harmonic resolution. But sometimes we have to find that we don't always get closure from other people. Sometimes we have to be the one that gives ourselves the closure, okay? And you may be awakening to that, all right, with this awakening closure card. And closure can be a very beautiful thing. In this card right here, it's pink, it's lovely, the sun's shining through. It's like, I'm ready to move on, you know? And for those of you that feel that way, you know, and you've chosen yourself already, and you chose to walk through that door alone because a situation wasn't good enough for you, I commend you, pile number 3. That takes a lot of strength, okay? For those of you that are still in it, and wondering and questioning, Spirit is saying, listen to your intuition and take some time out. And when I say time out, I don't mean still lingering. I mean a real time out, okay? Pile number 3, my lovies, okay? And no wonder you guys are who you are. Pile number 3, we have Cancer and I feel, okay? And of course, Ace of Cups. Of course you feel. Of course you're loving. Of course you feel deeply towards others. You know, some of you may have heavy Cancer in your chart, rising, moon, sun, etc. I have a lot. I have moon in Cancer. I have Venus in Cancer. So I got a lot of things there too, pile number 3. But I feel, all right? And for some of you, this is I feel closure, right? Maybe you feel closure now, and even after this reading, I feel closure, okay? Or I feel harmonic resolution within myself. And I feel I can listen to my intuition. I feel the need for a timeout, right? All these different things, right? It's just energy at the end of the day with this energy card in the middle, okay? And, you know, sometimes our feelings are you know, like we can't go crazy every time we have a feeling. I mean, we can if we're on our own and have a good way to express it, but I think you guys are actually like, I feel like I want to rebuild my life and integrate some of these things that I've been persistently working on for a while, including creating even more intentions around my self-love and, you know, trusting my intuition more and, you know, manifesting abundance, all of that in the heart and materially. All right, my pile number threes. What an interesting reading. It is straight up 3 o'clock. Will you see that? 300 on my clock right now, pile number 3. It's a great time to kind of let the reading flow over us, okay? So thank you so much to my beautiful pile number 3s, and thank you so much to all the piles. I certainly always enjoy reading for you all. Take care, my darlings. Blessings on your path.